But before I give my comment, may I just clarify if the lead prosecutor is now making a motion to arraign the respondent accused.
Your Honor, whether this is arraignment or otherwise,
Grabe.
the motion of the prosecution is very much consistent with the Senate rules on impeachment.
I think
Durog ka
the
ngayon.
question, Your Honor, is very simple.
Durog ka ngayon ha, sa debate ninyo. Durog ka ngayon. Tingnan nyo, Luistro.
I have
Is
mentioned,
answerable
Your
by
Honor,
yes or no, Your Honor.
Rule
Is the
7,
lead prosecutor
Rule 9,
is the lead
Let this
prosecutor
not be a debate between the
requesting
councils.
for the respondent accused
Counsel
to be
for
arraigned, Your
respondent,
Honor?
kindly make your comments and avoid asking questions from the counsel or the prosecutor.
Bago ang lahat guys, bago natin ito pag-uusapan, help me po muna na i-like at saka i-share itong video natin para guys kakalat ito sa taong bayan at sa mga first time na nanood dito ay makaparticipate sila. No? At sa mga first time dito sa aking channel ha, kung first time yung nanood dito at nagustuhan nyo ang ating talakayan, yung ating banatan, ay mag-subscribe na rin kayo ha para updated kayo lagi sa ating mga trending na balita. Ang subscription po ay walang bayad yan. Libre lang yan. Okay? So, paldo na kayo dito.
Okay, heto na nga, no? Nanlumo itong si Luistro. Yan, deserve mo talaga, Luistro, na manlumo ka. Alam nyo ba kung bakit nanlumo itong si Luistro? Ito, kinain na naman ang buhay ni Attorney Sheila, ang defense team ni VP Sara. Yan po ang mga pag-uusapan natin ngayon araw na ito, no? Maganda po ito. Panoorin natin ito kasi very satisfying po, no? Bumubula na yung bibig ni Luistro. Nanlumo na. Yan ang sinabi ko sa iyo, Luistro. Ang gara-gara nyo kasi nung panahon ng nagpapamedya, kung ano-anong mga banat ninyo kay VP Sara, ang yabang-yabang ninyo, kayo ni Ridon, ngayon, isa sa mga nanlumo itong si Luistro at saka si Dilima, ngayon, panoorin natin ang buong-buo itong mga sinasabi po ni Attorney Sheila, itong defense team ni VP Sara. Grabe, trending na trending ito si Attorney Sheila. Ang galing-galing. Tingnan natin si Representative Luistro na bumula ang kanyang bibig. Dahil natatakot na siguro itong sa mga opening statement ni Attorney Sheila. Okay? So ngayon naman, siya naman yung ating titingnan. Okay, ito panoorin natin.
Is now recognized to deliver her opening statement for the prosecution. You may proceed, ma'am, and you have 15 minutes.
Your Honor, before I proceed, the prosecution respectfully moves for the reading of the 4 articles of impeachment and the entry of the corresponding answer or plea for each article of impeachment, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is consistent to the Senate rules on impeachment, particularly Rule 7, Your Honor, the last paragraph of which mentions about failure to appear, failure of the lawyer to appear, and failure to file answer. There should be an entry of plea of not guilty. Likewise, Your Honor, under Rule 9 of the Senate Rule of an Impeachment, which says that the person impeached shall then be called to appear and answer the articles of impeachment against him or her. In this rule, Your Honor, it was likewise provided that the name of the person appearing in behalf of the respondent should be entered into the record. And by the answer, Your Honor, it is humbly believed that it pertains to the particular plea of whether guilty or not guilty of the respondent, Your Honor. Likewise, Your Honor, under Rule 21, Your Honor, the trial of all the articles of impeachment shall be completed before the senators vote on the final question of whether or not the impeachment is sustained. It is gleaned from this rules, Your Honor, that the senators will be voting on a per-article basis, Your Honor. And that is why it is the humble submission of the prosecution that there should be reading of the article and entry of the particular plea per article, Your Honor. This likewise, Your Honor, manifests our complete adherence to the mandate of the Constitution sa pagbasa po ng mga artikulo ng impeachment at pagpapasok ng sagot ng respondent, maipakita po natin sa sambayanang Pilipino ang ating pagsunod sa mandato ng Konstitusyon. Likewise, Your Honor, it upholds due process not only of the respondent but also of the Filipino people. Sa pagbasa po ng mga artikulo ng impeachment, she will be informed of the nature of the accusation against her bago pa po siya sumagot whether she is guilty or not guilty, Your Honor. Likewise, Your Honor, ang 4 na artikulo po ng impeachment ay nakabase sa iba't ibang alegasyon ng facts at iba't ibang...
Sa totoo lang, no? Sa totoo lang. Sa na-observe ko kay Luistro, bumubula yung kanyang bibig. this is a sign of na-pressure. Na-pressure talaga siya, na-pressure siya. Dahil ang galing-galing ni Atty. Sheila eh.
Nature of accusation or cause of action, Your Honor. And with that, Your Honor, it is perceived that there's a possibility that the plea of the respondent to each and every article will be different from one another, Your Honor. And lastly, Your Honor, this is consistent with the Senate rules on impeachment because the senator judges, the honorable senator judges, Your Honor, will be voting on a per article basis after the conclusion of the trial of this impeachment case, Your Honor.
The chair will respond. Unless the counsel for respondent would like to say something about the motion of the distinguished lead prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor, may I comment?
The lead, you may
Before
proceed.
Before the presiding officer can rule on the motion or request of the lead prosecutor. But before I give my comment, may I just clarify if the lead prosecutor is now making a motion to arraign the respondent accused.
Your Honor, whether this is arraignment or otherwise,
Grabe.
the motion of the prosecution is very much consistent with the Senate rules on impeachment.
I think
Durog ka
the
ngayon.
question, Your Honor, is very simple.
Durog ka ngayon ha, sa debate ninyo. Durog ka ngayon. Tingnan nyo, Luistro.
I have
Is
mentioned,
answerable
Your
by
Honor,
Yes or no, Your Honor.
Rule
Is the
7,
lead prosecutor
Rule 9,
is the lead
Let
prosecutor
this not be a debate between the
requesting
councils.
for the respondent accused to
Counsel
be
for
arraigned, Your
respondent,
Honor.
kindly make your comments and avoid asking questions from the counsel for the prosecutor. We will recognize the counsel for respondent for comments on the motion and the manifestations made by the lead prosecutor for the House. You may proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe I have a standing question to the lead prosecutor, and I would like to ask her for the legal basis for requiring the respondent to be arraigned today. Because, Your Honor, I note that in her request earlier and manifestations given for the respondent to be arraigned today, she cited Rule 7, Rule 9, and Rule 21. However, in Rule 7, it very clearly states that if the person impeached after service shall fail to appear either in person or by counsel on the day so fixed, or appearing shall fail to file his answer to such articles of impeachment, the trial shall proceed nevertheless as upon a plea of not guilty. Well, this rule is clear. It does not talk about any arraignment. And if we take a look at this sentence, everything here has been satisfied. The respondent accused is here, has attended through counsel. She may not be in person, but the notice given to the defense is that she may appear through counsel. Second thing is that the respondent accused was also able to file her answer. And so Rule 7 does not support the request of the lead prosecutor that the respondent accused be arraigned today. Now, on the matter of Article 9, counsel also say that the person impeached shall then be called to appear and answer the articles of impeachment against him or her. And if he or she appears, or any person for him or her, the appearance shall be recorded, stating particularly if by himself or by agent or counsel, naming the person appearing in the capacity in which or he appears. If he or she does not appear, either personally or by agent or counsel, the same shall be recorded. And for all intents and purposes, respondent is present today through counsel. There is also nothing in Rule 9 that requires the reading of a 23-page articles of impeachment, which will be a waste of judicial time. Now, finally, under Rule 21, Your Honor, may I just correct the manifestation earlier by counsel, because it would seem to me, unless a reading of the transcript would say that I'm mistaken, but I seem to have heard the lead prosecutor claim that the voting on the articles of impeachment will be per article. Well, that's true, but the first sentence of Rule 21 says, the trial of all the articles of impeachment shall first be completed before the senators vote on the final question on whether or not the impeachment is sustained. Now, honestly, I do not see how Rule 21 is related to the motion now being requested or propounded by the lead prosecutor. And at any rate, Your Honor, given that the respondent is represented by her counsel today, and this is consistent, her appearance is consistent with the notice given and in accordance with the rules on rules of procedure of this court, then we can enter her plea on her behalf.
The arguments of the parties are duly noted. Chair will now make its ruling. The articles of impeachment were deemed read and spread into the records when it was referred by the Senate to the Committee on Justice for the proper issuance of summons. And a plea of not guilty will only be entered in accordance with our rules in behalf of the Vice President if she does not file an answer. But in this case, she has filed an answer and in fact has appeared through counsel. Insofar as the reading of the articles of impeachment is concerned, it will be done at the final resolution of this case when it is put to a vote by the senator judges, where each article of impeachment will be read before a vote shall be taken thereon. For those reasons, the motion is denied, and the lead prosecutor, Representative Luistro, may proceed with her opening statement. Kindly be mindful of the clock, and before recognizing you, ma'am, may I remind the counsels for the parties to kindly address the chair with respect to anything and everything they want or wish to say before the court, and not to address each other. The lady may proceed. Representative Luistro, you're recognized, and you have 15 minutes for your opening remarks.
We thank the court, Your Honor.
Mr. Presiding Officer, the Honorable Cheese Escudero, the Honorable Senate President, Honorable Win Gatchalian, sa atin pong mga kagalang-galang na Senator Judges, mga minamahal na kababayan, sa loob ng bulwagan o sa labas man, mga nakatutok sa telebisyon, sa cellphone o sa radyo, sa ang sulok man ng mundo, kayo naroroon. Maraming Pilipino ang nagtatanong ngayon, bakit mahalaga ang paglilitis na ito? Ano ang kaugnayan nito sa buhay ng ordinaryong Pilipino? Lubos po naming nauunawaan ang mga tanong na yan. Sa katunayan, may isang driver na nagtatanong, paano sasapat ang kita sa pasada upang mapakain niya ang kanyang pamilya? May isang OFW na nagtatanong, hanggang kailan kailangan lumayo upang mapaaral niya ang kanyang mga anak? May isang guro na nagtatanong, paano pagkakasyahin ang kanyang sahod sa dami ng utang na hinuhulugan? May isang manggagawa na nagtatanong, hanggang kailan magtitiis sa pansamantalang trabaho at kakarampot na sweldo? Sa unang tingin, maaring sabihin na malayo sa buhay nila ang paglilitis na ito. Ngunit hindi. Hindi po. Sapagkat ang usapin ngayon ay patungkol sa isang bagay na pag-aari nilang lahat. Ang kanilang pera, ang kanilang tiwala, ang kanilang karapatan na maningil ng pananagutan mula sa mga pinuno na kanilang pinagkatiwalaan. Kapag ang isang empleyado ay nagkamali ng paggamit ng pera ng kumpanya, siya ay pinagpapaliwanag. Kapag ang isang barangay treasurer hindi maipaliwanag ang nawawalang pondo, siya ay iniimbestigahan. Kapag ang isang principal ay naglustay ng pera ng bayan, kahit 5,000 lang yan, siya ay pinaparusahan. Natural lamang na magtanong ang sambayanan kung ang ordinaryong Pilipino ay pinapanagot. Bakit hindi ang pinakamakapangyarihan na opisyal ng pamahalaan? Ito ang dahilan kung bakit mahalaga ang paglilitis na ito. Hindi upang usigin ang isang tao, hindi upang maghiganti sa kalaban, hindi upang manalo sa politika, kundi upang sagutin ang isang tanong na napakahalaga sa kinabukasan ng ating republika. May saysay pa ba ang pananagutan sa ating bansa? Sapagkat ang kasong ito ay higit at lampas sa sinumang opisyal, higit at lampas sa anumang partido, higit at lampas sa alinmang administrasyon. Your Honors, the framers of the Constitution understood that there may come a day when extraordinary power would be entrusted to extraordinary office. They also understood that there may come a day when trust would be broken. And that is why they gave the House of Representatives the power to impeach and the Senate the duty to judge. Not to punish political opponents, not to settle political scores, but to protect the Republic itself. That is why the Constitution declares public office is a public trust. Ang kapangyarihan ay hindi pag-aari ng sino mang opisyal. Hiram lamang ito sa taong bayan. At ito ang dahilan kung bakit naririto tayo ngayon. Your Honors, the prosecution will present exactly what the Constitution requires. Evidence. Hindi chismis. Hindi haka-haka. Hindi propaganda. At lalong hindi SOCMED narrative. Evidence. Official records. Financial documents. Government reports. Video recording. Statements under oath. Independent findings of institutions created by law. Mga dokumento na hindi bumoboto. Mga records na walang partido. Mga katotohanan na walang kulay pampolitika. Sa unang tingin, maaring magmukhang magkakahiwalay ang 4 articles of impeachment. Confidential fund, unexplained wealth, bribery and corruption, threat against constitutional order. But these are not 4 separate stories. These are 4 chapters of the same story. Story about power exercised without accountability. Story about public trust betrayed. Story about public office that stopped answering to the public. On the first article of impeachment, the evidence will show that more than 612 million pesos in confidential fund entrusted to the office of the Vice President and the Department of Education were disbursed, transferred and liquidated under circumstances that cannot withstand scrutiny. 612 million pesos. Hindi ito pera ng gobyerno. Pera ito ng sambayanan. Pera ng manggagawa. Pera ng magsasaka. Pera ng OFW. Pera ng guro. Pera ng bawat Pilipino na nagbabayad ng buwis at nagtitiwala na gagamitin ito ng tama. The evidence will show liquidation reports supported by questionable documents. The evidence will show acknowledgement receipts bearing names government records could not verify. Names that transformed accountability into a mockery. Pananagutan na naging kalokohan. Names that insulted the intelligence of the Filipino people. Mary Grace Piatos, Milky Sikuya, Kokoy Villamin. On the second article of impeachment, the evidence will show financial transactions involving billions of pesos associated with the respondent and her husband. Billions. Hindi milyon, bilyon. At habang milyon-milyong Pilipino ang nagtratrabaho at nag-iipon buong buhay upang magkaroon ng sariling bahay, makapagpaaral ng mga anak, magkaroon ng kaunting seguridad para sa pamilya. Aba, bilyon-bilyong piso ang dumaan sa mga bank accounts na hindi maipaliwanag ng maayos. This article is not about wealth. This is about accountability. This is about explanation. If wealth was lawfully acquired, where is the lawful explanation? If transactions were proper, where is the complete accounting? If numbers truly add up, then why do they refuse to reconcile? On the third article of impeachment, the evidence will show bribery, graft and corruption through the distribution of cash payments and monetary gifts to officials under the supervision of the respondent. This article is not simply about envelopes. This is about institution. This is about whether loyalty was purchased rather than earned. Government cannot function if loyalty is purchased instead of earned. Kapag nabibili ang katapatan, nawawala ang integridad. At kapag nabibili ang opisyal, nabubudol ang bayan. Perhaps the greatest tragedy is where the conduct allegedly occurred. In the Department of Education. Tama po sa DepEd. The institution entrusted with teaching future generations honesty, responsibility, integrity. On the fourth article of impeachment, the evidence will show culpable violation of the Constitution. High crime, betrayal of public trust through conduct that threatens constitutional order. Among all allegations before this court, none strikes more directly at the heart of constitutional order than this one. Ito na po ang pinakamatindi. And unlike in many cases, which depends upon competing accounts, this evidence comes substantially from the respondent's own recorded public statements. The court will see them. The court will hear them. The court will judge them. Public officials may disagree. We may criticize one another. They may compete fiercely for power. That is democracy. But democracy ends when violence begins. Sa kasaysayan ng ating republika, walang vice presidente na may kaibigan na hitman. Ngayon lang. Walang vice presidente na nagpapapatay ng Pangulo. Ngayon lang. Walang vice presidente na handang magpapatay para lamang makaupo sa pwesto. Ngayon lang. The Constitution provides many means on how to resolve political conflict. Election, legislation, public debate, judicial review, and even impeachment. But it does not permit threats. It does not permit violence. It does not permit people entrusted with power to place themselves above constitutional restraints. Your Honors, at the center of this case lies a simple question, perhaps the most important to any republic. When the people entrust power to a public official, does the public official remain accountable to the people? Or do the people become accountable? Power belongs to the people. Public office is merely borrowed. And every borrowed power carries with it the obligation to account for its use. If a barangay treasurer must account for public fund, then so must the vice president. If an ordinary public servant can be investigated, then so can the highest officials of the government. If ordinary citizen is expected to obey the rules, then surely those who govern them must obey them first. Otherwise, what lessons do we teach our children? That there is law for the powerful and another for everyone else? That accountability exists only for the weak? That public office grants immunity against accountability? Your Honors, this is not the republic envisioned by the Constitution. This is not the republic deserved by the Filipino people. Therefore, the prosecution asks only this: look at the evidence. Listen to the witnesses. Examine the records. Follow the evidence wherever it leads. Judge this case not by politics, not by popularity, not by fear, not by loyalty. Judge this case by the Constitution. Judge this case by the evidence. Years from now, future generations will not remember.
Actually, sa totoo lang, ang argumento po ni Luistro, walang laman. Kaya dinadaan lang niya sa parang paawa effect yung kanyang intonation sa kanyang pag-deliver niya kanang speech, di ba? Yan.
Today's political alliances, they will not remember today's headlines. They will not remember today's slogans. What they will remember is when accountability was tested, the institutions of the Republic stood firm. They will remember only one thing: what this court did when the Constitution called. Future generations will not ask how powerful the respondent was. They will not ask how loud the political debate became. But they will ask one thing: when the Constitution called, did the Republic answer? Your Honors, this is that moment. This is the moment the Constitution anticipated. This is the moment when accountability must mean exactly what it says. This is the moment when public office must truly remain a public trust. This is the moment when the Republic must demonstrate that laws are applied equally to the powerful and the powerless alike. At matapos marinig ang mga saksi, matapos masuri ang mga dokumento, matapos matimbang lahat ng ebidensya, ang prosekusyon ay naniniwala at naninindigan. Isa lamang ang maliwanag na konklusyon. Ang tiwalang ipinagkaloob ay nilabag. Ang kapangyarihang ipinahiram ay inabuso. At ang konstitusyon mismo ang humihingi ng pananagutan. Amid the clarity of the mandate of the Constitution, political noise continues. Political squabbles continues. Political division continues. Please, let me conclude. Salus populi est suprema lex. The welfare of the people is the supreme law. Thank you, Your Honor.
The opening remarks of the prosecution.